now, and 15 to Finish is one of our latest efforts that we have started. And the challenge is one that we're all familiar with. Too many students in Missouri do not graduate on time or complete a degree. By 2020, about 66% of jobs will require a degree or certificate, and many of you have probably heard about Missouri's big goal, and that is a goal that we are still working toward, to have 60% of working age adults in Missouri with a certificate or 2 or 4 year degree by the year 2025. So to reach this goal, we are making progress. We're at about 51.7% now, so we do have a ways to go, and 2025 will be here soon. But we know that we need more students attending college, and we also need more students completing college. So currently, less than half of Missouri college students earn an average of 15 credit hours per semester, which would put them on track to complete an associate degree in 2 years or a bachelor's degree in 4 years. 14% of students at two-year colleges are earning an average of 15 credit hours per semester, and we know that part of the reason this number is so low for two-year colleges is that they are more likely to have larger numbers of part-time and non-traditional students. But just 41.5% of students at our four-year colleges are earning an average of 15 credit hours per semester. So one sure way that students can reduce education costs is to graduate on time. And that's what 15 to Finish is about. An extra year of college can cost students $50,000 or more in tuition, fees, books, room and board, plus the wages they would have earned if they had graduated and joined the workforce in a full-time position. And this is where we see an opportunity. Increasing the percentage of full-time students who complete 15 or more credit hours a semester could help more students earn a degree in less time, at less cost, and with less debt. We know not all students will be able to increase their course load. Part-time students, students with full-time jobs and family obligations are probably not going to be able to average 15 credit hours a semester. We hope that more will consider the possibility of being able to do that, but we know for some students it just will not happen. But many traditional full-time students are not completing 15 credit hours a semester. And this chart shows that in Missouri, about 58% of students are completing at least 24 credit hours a year, but only 29% are completing 30 credit hours a year. So the gap between those two is where we believe the 15 to Finish initiative can have an impact. Many students could graduate on time by taking just one more course per semester. The research shows that students who average at least 15 credit hours a semester are more likely to graduate. Even if they don't graduate on time, they are more likely to finish a degree. And this chart shows the degree completion rate. So the more credit hours students complete in their first year of college, the more likely they are to earn a degree. This isn't necessarily graduating on time, but it's just degree completion, no matter how long they take to complete a degree. So 62% of students who earn 30 or more credit hours their first year in college finish an associate degree, and 79% of students who earn 30 or more credit hours their first year of college finish a bachelor's degree. So our strategy focuses on 2 points: to encourage full-time students to take 15 or more credit hours a semester through a communications effort and advising, and then also to develop some best practices that support on-time completion. And Westy's going to talk about a couple of those: guided pathways to success and concurrent enrollment.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Senate Bill 997 that was passed and signed into law last summer included several pieces, and among those were the Guided Pathways to Success Act and the Concurrent Enrollment Act. Both of these initiatives, as Liz mentioned, are intended to help clear the path for students so that they have a direct and very easy to navigate path to completing their degree, whether it's an associate or a baccalaureate degree. The goal, as Liz also alluded to, is to improve graduation rates. We want more students completing degrees, credentials, and as she mentioned, we know that full-time students who take more credit hours, earn more credit hours per semester, are more likely to graduate. And it also, we believe, will result in a reduction of what is sometimes, unfortunately, referred to as wasted credits. And by that term, what we're referring to is that credits that students take but do not carry any credit towards their degree, towards their major. Certainly the educational value still is there, but by taking a course that doesn't apply to the degree, to the major, means the student will have to take an additional course to supplement that. This is a key issue, as many of you are probably aware. The average number of credits earned by students, which you can see on your screen, is over 76 for an associate degree and over 133 for a bachelor's degree. Now, we are well aware that this is an average, and we're also aware that some associate degrees are more than 60 credits and some bachelor's degrees are more than 120. But this is also then the average. At a minimum, an associate degree is 60 degrees and a bachelor's degree is 120. So if this is the average, we know that students are earning additional credits beyond what is required for the degree itself. Those credits add up, and those credits equate to dollars. Dollars perhaps in financial aid that a student is using, student loans, and as Liz mentioned, the opportunity cost of not having the degree and entering the workforce. So let me talk a little bit about the two initiatives. The first is the Guided Pathways pilot. As the statute laid out for us, institutions who wanted to be part of this pilot had to include at least two of the following elements in their proposal. The creation of a semester-by-semester set of courses. That is, these are courses that are required for specific majors. The institution's committed to offering them, but also offering them in such a way that a student would be able to enroll and take those courses. Degree-based transfer pathways. We have, I think, a pretty good system of transfer and articulation in the state, but this would kind of take it a step further and ensure that students who start down a certain degree path, whether it's in health professions or education or what have you, could seamlessly transfer into a completion baccalaureate completion program at a university. Meta majors is the idea of, for students who are undecided, instead of letting them just founder for a while, let's get them into a very broad field, what Complete College America and others refer to as meta majors. So it could be education, it could be health professions, it could be the STEM fields, it could be business. The number many meta majors that could be developed. And what that does is group together majors that have similar requirements so that if students decide they want to go one way but then want to shift majors within that meta major, they're less likely to lose credit because of the change in majors. Structured schedules. This could include block scheduling or scheduling courses as part of a degree map or other type of schedule so that students can be assured that the courses they need to complete their degree are going to be offered at a time and place that they can take them. And then something I think that many institutions probably already do, degree maps. I think many institutions have sample plans, suggested curriculum. The idea of degree maps just takes that a little bit further and actually lays out, instead of suggesting take this, this, or this, it says take this, here's the course, and if you take this, this, and this, these courses you will graduate in a timely manner. We had 5 institutions submit proposals for the Guided Pathways pilot, and after reviewing them and determining that they each offered something very interesting and very different from one another, we decided to go ahead and invite all 5 of them into the pilot program. Metropolitan, North Central, and Ozark Technical Community College, and Southeast Missouri State University and the University of Missouri Kansas City are our 5 partners. What they will do is begin their work, and much of this work has already begun, and the department will facilitate meetings, will gather the participants together so that they can share ideas, share best practices, communicate with the pilot partners, but also others not participating. The ultimate result of this will be a report we will provide to the General Assembly in 2020, and hopefully at that time we will have a very, very good idea of which elements of guided pathways work very well in Missouri, and we can submit that to the legislature for additional support. The other piece of this other initiative that's directed at on-time completion is concurrent enrollment. Again, concurrent enrollment isn't anything new. Dual credit is, for example, a kind of concurrent enrollment. There are other joint enrollment projects on a one-to-one basis that many institutions have engaged in. But what this pilot is attempting to do is to pilot some ideas and to start looking at ways so that these practices, these best practices, things that are working, can be expanded and exported to other institutions. The advantages of concurrent enrollment for students there are many advantages. One, the flexibility of taking courses at either of the institutions at a time, not necessarily at the same time, because I guess that would be impossible, right? But taking them according to their schedule. It opens up the capacity of the 2 institutions to students, which should provide some additional flexibility for the students. It provides an expanded selection of courses and schedules, again, which will increase the likelihood that students will have opportunities to find courses and schedules that fit their own needs. It provides students with the access to resources of both institutions without imposing any additional costs on the students. And because the pilot requires the cooperation in partnership between a community college and a public university. The possibility of earning an associate degree while also working toward a baccalaureate degree is another clear, obvious advantage. Students can see, they could earn a credential, for example, kind of halfway through their work. As was in the case with the Guided Pathways pilot, we decided to ask all the partner institutions that submitted proposals to join the pilot. You see here the three groups of partner institutions. Missouri University of Science and Technology and East Central College make up one partnership. Northwest Missouri State University and Metropolitan Community College is the second. And Southeast Missouri State University, Jefferson College, and Three Rivers College are partnering together to implement this concurrent enrollment initiative. Again, as was the case with the Guided Pathways project, we will facilitate discussions, share communications and best practices, report to the General Assembly in 2020, and try to identify practices that could be taken to scale in the state, and so that more institutions could participate and reap some of these benefits.
Okay, so the legislation that Rusty mentioned, Senate Bill 997 that was passed last year, included information or a legislative initiative about the Guided Pathways to Success and Concurrent Enrollment. It also included a provision for a 15 to finish initiative in the state. It's not a mandate, but it is something that the legislature agreed would be a good thing for our department to work on. So 15 to finish focuses on educating students about the benefits of completing 15 or more credit hours each semester. It may not be 15 every semester, but an average of 15 a semester for a total of 30 per year. We know many degrees require more than 60 hours for an associate degree or 120 for a bachelor's degree. 15 credit hours a semester is going to get a student very close, and hopefully then if they only need one additional course, then there will be opportunities for summer school or an online course or an intersession course that would get them to the number of credits they need for a degree to graduate on time. So the initiative is about helping students graduate earlier, enter the workforce sooner, and potentially saving thousands of dollars in education expenses. It can help reduce student loan debt by reducing students' need to borrow money for an additional year or more of college. 15 to Finish is a national campaign coordinated by Complete College America, which is a nonprofit organization that works to promote college completion in the U.S. Last fall, we had a kickoff for the 15 to Finish initiative at Missouri State University in Springfield, and we had a couple of representatives from Complete College America come and talk to. We had a pretty big group, about 150, many college presidents and other people that were interested in this initiative. So Missouri is one of several dozen states participating in the initiative. Many of the states call it 15 to finish. One or two call it 15 as full-time. I think there's a couple of others that have called it something different, but the goal is the same, and that's to encourage students to complete 15 or more credit hours a semester and to earn their degree on time. So for our work here in Missouri, we're focusing in 4 areas. We want to establish early awareness among high school students, really in order for students to get off on the right foot to graduate on time, and they really need to start when they're freshmen. It's great if they decide when they're a junior or a senior even to take more credit hours per semester, but really starting as a freshman is going to get them to graduate on time much more easily if they start at the beginning. So creating awareness among high school students is something the department is definitely going to be working on. We have our Journey to College initiative. Some of you may be familiar with that. We have a mix of people participating today. Some of them are high school counselors, and then the rest are primarily from colleges and universities and some of the college access organizations in the state. So the department does a number of things with our Journey to College initiative. We produce a number of publications that we provide to school counselors, and we also have several staff members that go out to college nights and financial aid nights and provide information to students and their parents. And so we will be incorporating 15 to Finish messages into those publications. We also have a growing social media presence, and we have Journey to College Facebook and Journey to College Twitter that we've already started including a number of 15 to Finish messages through social media efforts. And then we also have several outreach events. Some of you may be familiar with Apply Missouri, where we provide assistance, or actually we work with high schools that provide assistance during the school day to help students determine a best fit for them for higher education and help them submit college applications. Our FAFSA Frenzy program, where we coordinate a program that provides assistance to students and their parents with completing the FAFSA. That will be another way we can provide information about 15 to Finish. And then the third outreach access program we have is Decision Day, to celebrate students' decision to go on to higher education, but then also provide information to students who maybe have not applied to college, or they have applied and they haven't been admitted, or they haven't enrolled, but basically letting them know that it's not too late, you still have some options. And again, another opportunity for us to provide information about on-time college completion and the benefits of that. And then our last thing that we're working on right now with Journey to College is a new website focused on providing information to students and their families. We hope to launch that in August, and we will definitely have 15 to Finish information there, among a lot of other information about college admissions and financial aid. So our second focus is increasing awareness among college students. So our Journey to College initiative also provides information to college students. Certainly our social media is directed at college students as well as high school juniors and seniors. But then this is also where we certainly want participation from our colleges and universities. The department is going to be out talking about 15 to Finish. Our commissioner is going to be talking about it. We're putting messages out on social media and our website, but we know that our colleges and universities can really help us get this information out through their networks, through their social media, through their student orientation, through advising, any number of ways, and that is where we certainly would like your help promoting this initiative. And the third point is promoting public awareness. We were able to do some of that last fall when we had our kickoff event. We issued a news release that was actually picked up by a number of media outlets, and we did a number of media interviews talking about this. There's so much conversation and media coverage right now about student loan debt and the cost of college, and this is really one basic way to help reduce college costs and reduce the amount of time that students take to earn a degree. And then the fourth point is recommending policies and best practices for higher education institutions, such as the ones that Rusty just talked about. So we're focusing on a number of messages. Most of them are organized around these 3 points, primarily because many degrees associate degrees require more than 60 credit hours, bachelor degrees require more than 120. So we don't want students to think, if I earn 15 credit hours a semester, I'm guaranteed that I'm going to finish my degree on time. So our biggest overall message really is telling students to do the math, to know how many credit hours they need to complete their degree. And they may need to do that more than once. So if they change their major, they probably need to do the math again and see if that has changed. And if they need to take some additional hours to know what it's going to take for them to not just graduate on time, but to graduate, period, and earn the degree that they're working toward. So the second part then of this is then encouraging them to complete 15 or more credit hours a semester, to earn an associate degree in 2 years or a bachelor's degree in 4 years. And then the third part of our message is consider all your options. The summer classes and online courses can help them graduate on time. For our messages to high school students, we are also adding information to let them know and encourage them to think about how dual credit and AP classes can help them get a head start on earning college credit, and that can help them maintain an average of 15 credit hours a semester and help them stay on track to graduate on time. So if they have a semester or two where they aren't able to take 15 hours, they aren't able to complete 15 hours, they have credit that they brought with them from high school. Some other messages that we are using also that go along with that do the math kind of theme is actually sort of an equation type message here that shows them if they take 12 credit hours, which we know many of them do because that is usually considered full-time and it's considered full-time for most financial aid programs, but if they're only going to take 12 credit hours, that for a bachelor's degree, they're probably going to be in school 5 or more years. And if they take 15 or more credit hours a semester and complete those credit hours, they're going to earn that degree in 4 years. And then for an associate degree, then the 12 and the 15 credit hours, the 12 credit hours, they're going to be in school probably 2.5 years or more. And if they take 15 or more credit hours, they can graduate on time in 2 years. So we have developed a set of materials that the department will be using to promote this. You are invited to use those materials. If your school wants to participate, we are fine with you creating your own materials. You can adapt our materials, use our messages, you can use our logo, whatever approach you would like to take works for us. But we did want to create some materials that are available to you, and they're on our website, and I'll give you that link in a little bit. So we've developed flyers and posters, social media posts, and graphics. We have a video, just a short video that you can link to on social media. You could show it at a student orientation or college night for high schools. We have a PowerPoint presentation, also again could be shown at a college night or financial aid night where you've got students and parents, something very brief, but just get the message out there and get them thinking about taking 15 credit hours a semester. We have a fact sheet for students, and then we also have a student webpage currently on our department website. And then once we get our Journey to College website launched, that information will also be on that website. So here are what our flyers look like. Obviously, we're promoting that do the math message. One of our flyers or posters has sort of that three-step message there about knowing how many hours you need for your degree and completing 15 or more credit hours, and then considering the other options available to you to complete your degree on time. The next one talks about the extra cost involved in taking an additional year to finish your degree. A couple more flyers that we have developed are the equation showing the 12 hours and the 15 hours. We have one for two-year colleges, and we have one for four-year colleges. We have put together some sample social media posts for Twitter and Facebook, and also some graphics that can go along with those posts. And like I said, we also developed a fact sheet for students that is pretty brief. We've also developed some additional resources. One is a program fact sheet that has a lot more detailed information about what we are doing here at the department to promote 15 to Finish. Not really geared toward students, but really geared more toward high school and college professionals who might be interested in helping to promote this. We also have some talking points put together. We have a sample news release put together that your school could send out to let your local media know that this is something you're doing. It seems to be something the media has been interested in, especially in terms of the cost of college. So the materials are currently available on our website, and this is the link. And as soon as we're done here, we will send you this PowerPoint, so you can have the link and feel free to use any of our slides in any kind of presentations that you might develop. And also on the website is the 15 to Finish logo, in case you would like to incorporate that into anything that you may do along these lines to help promote the 15 to Finish initiative. So if you have any questions, go ahead and type them into the chat box, and we'll see if we can answer those. We will show the short video that we have developed. And this is our web page that we have set up right now for students. The materials that I showed you are actually on a separate web page, and that link is in the PowerPoint that we will send to you. So do we have any questions? If anyone has any questions, please type them in the chat box. Or if you think of questions later, please feel free to send me an email, and I'll see if I can answer those questions. So since we don't have any questions right now, we will go ahead and end the webinar. And again, thank you very much for participating.